Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 o'clock here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, July 26th, I want to say. July 26, 2022. Ooh, it is a beautiful day here in Iowa. Really mild. I mean, it didn't stop me from sweating through everything on my run this morning, but it's a relatively mild day. I mean, we got the windows open here today. Air conditioning's not even on, so that means it's a pretty mild day. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Everyone listening on the podcast, hopefully you guys are having a nice cool run out there and it's not too hot or humid for you guys and everyone watching this on YouTube later after the fact. Hopefully you got a nice recovery beverage or something else more interesting to drink. I've got just some afternoon coffee to start my day. Today we'll talk about anything. If you guys want any more questions about Eugene, I'm happy to answer any of them. And then we'll talk about some travel that I got coming up in the next month. Yeah, I'm going to be hitting the road again, but it'll be fun. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to connect with you guys on those runs, but let me tell you about them first. But first, let's get to some people in the chat. We got Duno here. Says Pacific Northwest. I was just up in the Pacific Northwest, right? Yeah, Eugene, Oregon's Pacific Northwest. So I don't know that I'll be heading back up there anytime soon. I don't have anything on the schedule. I'm trying to think. I think the next time I'll be up, I guess Sacramento is not the Pacific Northwest. But that'll be the closest that I get, and that'll be in December for CIM. Leona says, hi, CoFam. Where'd it go? Hi, CoFam. Looking forward to hearing about your upcoming adventures, Mike. Nonstop travel running, vlogging for you. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of nonstop. I mean, I'm in Iowa with family, lots of good family time. And then I'll have a week. I was thinking about hopping into a race next weekend in Wisconsin, but I think probably not. I think I should spend more time at home. You know, we just moved to Crystal Lake, Illinois. Apparently the lake of Crystal Lake, Illinois is a really nice place to hang out in the summer. So I think we need to finally do that before it gets to be like wintertime. So I think that'll be on the docket for next week. But as far as the rest of the travel schedule, it's only 2 trips. So the next one will be not this weekend and not the next weekend, because that's the first weekend in August. It's like, I think it's the first weekend in August. So I'll be going to Northern California. Is it Northern California? I think it's Northern California. I'm going to be going out to Running Warehouse. So I'm going to check out their space. I'm going to do a couple of videos over there. There'll be some surprises in terms of the video content that we make. But that's one. I'm going to San Luis Obispo. I think I have to fly to Denver first. And then from Denver, we take like a real tiny plane out to San Luis Obispo. So that'll be in a couple weekends. And then I'll be back here in Iowa again. After that, do some family pictures, like big family pictures. And then the weekend after that, then I will be in, getting a phone call. Then the weekend after that, I will be in Boston for the Falmouth Road Race again. So that's my travel schedule for the rest of this month. Doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, it's like, pretty soon. I think I'll be in Boston still when my kids have their first day of school. So because school starts and stuff like that, I try to like cut August travel short, but I didn't quite cut it short enough. But so we got 2 trips. That's like the big news. Runner Will says, hello everyone. Hope your day's going great. Eliza says, good afternoon all. Hope all is well. Hopefully Co is not in a donut coma. I only had 2 donuts yesterday, so that's not too bad. And because I had so many left over, I was a big hit with the grandkids, especially some of the older ones who are of age and may have been a little bit tired yesterday. They were very appreciative of the donuts when they came over to Grandma's house. We got Vincent Veneris here, says, yo. We got Tommy. What's going on, Tommy? Says, Big Co. Tommy, I'll be seeing Tommy. Hopefully I didn't ruin a surprise, Tommy. I think Tommy's coming up to Boston for the Falmouth Road Race, so we'll be getting together again. So I'm looking forward to that. It's good to see you in Eugene, but it was too short. So I'm glad that we'll be able to connect again in Boston. JC's here, says, hello all, here for a little while, at least. And then Andrew says, yo, Co, this morning was fantastic running weather in the Chicago burbs. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. I feel like, I'm not saying that Chicago and the Midwest isn't going to be hot for like the next still 2 months, but I feel like the real worst of it, is this, I don't know what we call this, like fake downhill side of summer, you know what I mean? Did we pass the worst of it? I don't know. I feel like there's still going to be another heat wave, probably right around when school starts. Eric says, "Hey, everyone. How you liking those Mafate 4s? The Mafate 4 is really good. It was a very big surprise. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting something clunky. Kind of like when I look at the Brooks Caldera, I'm like, that might be comfortable, but I feel like that's going to be chunky on the trails, and I don't know if I want that. But the Mafate 4 Speed 4 is really good. It's good on every terrain that I've thrown at it, from pavement, concrete, blacktop, all the way up to some muddy trails and stuff. Now, I didn't get too much in the mud. I didn't get too much into rocky stuff, but I was running on some rocks. There's lots of dolomite where I was running today. Little rocks of that, and then granite, gravel. It has been raining overnights a lot, and so everything was wet and soggy too, so I got a little bit of mud. So I had a little sampler of terrain for the Mafate Speed 4 so far, and I'm really surprised at how much I like it. And then there's something about the lugs / midsole foam that give it kind of like almost like the lugs kind of like sink in a nice way when you're on pavement. So, a lot of times I'll specifically call out like Solomon shoes. Whenever you run on certain Solomon shoes on pavement, it feels like you're running on soccer cleats, right? Because they don't move at all, right? It's just like clickety clack on top of the pavement. These, you're kind of sinking in a really nice way. And so like has pretty decent road manners, but you can use it on a long run. I mean, the longest I've been on feet in them has probably only been about an hour and a half. Maybe that was today, maybe that was yesterday. Hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. Not terribly long, but I've been really enjoying my time in those shoes. I think that they're really good. I've never been in a Mafate before, so I can't really tell, but if it's hugely better than before. But my biggest concern was the area, like right on top of the toes, there's that diamond that was in like the Speed Goat 4. In the Speed Goat 5, they made it stretchy, but in the Mafate Speed, it's not stretchy, or not as like meshy thin as in the Speed Goat 5. And so I was worried that was going to feel tight, because in the Speed Goat 4, it felt like it made the toe box feel really narrow. But Hoka did send me a half size up. They did also send me a regular size, which is back in Chicago now, or in Crystal Lake. So I'll test that too, but so far I've been really enjoying it. And the concerns that I had are not concerns. I guess now the only concern is, with the way it's designed, if you're in a situation where you might need a gaiter, is that shoe a good choice? So that's something that may be beyond my realm of expertise. Steve76 says, "Yo, what's going on?" Sean Devlin says, "Hey, everyone. Temporary reprieve from the humidity this morning. Made for a nice running weather." Oh, that's always nice. I was listening to the Common Ground podcast with Danae Dorme and Mario Ferroli. And Danae was talking about how it's like 30% humidity in Albuquerque, and it's been hot. And I was trying not to be judgy about it, because I'm like, what's hot for people is hot. It's all relative. But she's also saying that like they've had like 5 days in a row of 100-degree temperatures. So, 30-degree humidity at 100 degrees Fahrenheit is a lot. So any little break you can get from humidity is always good in the summer running. All right, I'm gonna scroll down to catch up with you guys in the chat. Sorry about that. Ina says, oh, here's Dad Around. Dad Around says, "Yo, everyone, welcome back. Good to see you." And Ina says, "I didn't get on that well with my Evo Mafates. I prefer the Speed Goats. I really thought that I was going to prefer the Speed Goat, but I think that I prefer the Mafate. So far, right now, tentatively, I would rank the Hoka trail shoes. The Zenal and the Torrents. I'm gonna evaluate 3. I'm not sure where the Zenals and the Torrents go, because I like those, but they're different kinds of trail shoes. I like the Mafate 4, the Speed Goat 5, and then the Tectonics. I think that's kind of where I'm putting them. That's where I like them." Jay-Z says Mafate is a fun word. It is a fun word, Mafate. Kit wants to know, do you think running in the hot summer gives you cardio benefits like high altitude training? I would say probably not. Running in this hot summer gives you heat acclimation, but I don't think it gives you like cardio benefits like high altitude training. What I think that running in the hot summer does is it makes people overdo it. They don't adjust for what an easy pace should be, and then they overdo it. And I think that it leads to not overtraining, but guess overtraining is the right word. Overdoing it on the easy runs. So, I'm not a huge fan of running in the heat. I like to avoid it when I can. I prefer winter running temperatures. But I mean, it builds character. It builds mental toughness. There are lots of positives to it, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't travel to go run somewhere hot unless I had a hot race. Like if I was doing a summer ultra marathon, then I might try and seek out some hotter temperatures. But other than that, I would try to seek the coolest temperatures that I can. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's my take on it. Vera Nathan wants to know, what does the Actibreeze 3 sandal feel like to wear? Any additional thoughts on it? I think it feels like what you think 3D printed shoes should feel like. So like if you've ever like tried like an Adidas 4D or the 4D forward, that 4D FWD, and you're like, why, this just kind of feels like a regular shoe. I don't get it. Like it's disappointing. But when you look at the shoe and you're like, oh, that looks like it's going to be weird and squishy and kind of like a suspension system, it feels like that. It feels like what it looks like. And it's super comfortable to wear. It's intended to be a recovery slide. Now, does it do any sort of like kind of like pressure point, like activations of your foot to encourage blood flow? I'm not sure. Is it really nice to be in after a run, or especially after like a long run? Absolutely. Is it great to walk around in? It's pretty good to walk around in. I would say I prefer wearing it from a comfort perspective with socks on than I do barefoot. It's not because like some people were saying that like it's was abrasive to the bottom of their feet. I never had that problem. But like I wore them home from Eugene, like through the airport with socks because I didn't want to have to go through security barefoot. So I wore socks with it. I don't normally wear socks and slides, but I did there, and I was like, this is really nice. It felt really comfortable. So I did really enjoy it there. So the one thing that I will say is that I typically have a problem with slides where I think the volume of my foot is low, right? And so, like some people are like, say they have they need taller volume in the toe box, or some people say they have a wide foot. Some people say they have tall volume. I think I have low volume. And so for me, a lot of slides, they're too loose up top above the foot, like on top of the foot bones. And so for me on the Actibreeze, there's a little bit too much room there. So that makes it a little bit less well suited for a lot of walking. And I've done a lot of walking in this slide, but for like, I wore them to the grocery store today. It's great. I've been wearing them around at grandma's house all week. It's been great. So that's kind of what I've been a big fan. All right. Time to Run says, do you think you'll be doing the tunnel marathon again this year or next in Washington State? I don't have any current plans to. Matt Choi's doing it in I think there's one in like 2 or 3 weeks. I've been seeing it on TikTok. He's running and he's shooting for sub 3. I feel like as long as he paces himself, doesn't get too excited in the beginning. I should message him. As long as he doesn't get too excited, he's going to just destroy it. So seeing some of his workouts, he'll be fine. He just needs to make sure he doesn't overdo it in the first half. But I don't know that I will be doing it. I'm trying to think of my running schedule. I've got some stuff's in the works. It could be a pretty wild year next year. It could be a really wild year next year. I'm not ready to, I can't talk about some of that stuff because like details aren't finalized, final, but it could be pretty wild. And I don't know if I'll have time to do tunnel. I don't know. Andrew Allen says, don't like how the 10.9 are your favorite Hoka trail shoes. I forget whose Instagram account I was looking at today, but because of World Championships and like there's been a wide variety of types of people that have been posting on Instagram and Twitter about the World Championships from a variety of sports and like angles, whether they're like normally like basketball journalists or football journalists or whatever. And so I've just been getting fed a lot of stuff. And it was some professional basketball player who said that I think it was a professional basketball player. And he's like, ever since I think Hoka retweeted it. Maybe that's why, or liked it. Maybe that's why I saw it. So maybe it has nothing to do with World Championships. But some professional basketball players like, ever since I started walking around in these, in terms of when I'm not, working out, he's like, my legs have just felt so much better. And I was like, all right. So then it was like a swipe situation where you had to like look to the next picture. And it was the 10-9 hiking boot. Not the original 10-9, but the 10-9 hiking boot. And I was like, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I might pick up a pair of those for wintertime. The Gore-Tex version, I just feel like that'd be good, like winter, like dad boot to have. Because I have a pair of like Columbia ones that are like super intense, but there's just so much boot, and it was like an inch and a quarter outsole, and I think I've worn through parts of it. So I either got to get it resoled or get some new boots anyway. Ooh, Leona says 100K or 100 mile for 2023. It'll be fun if some of us can crew you for it. I like that idea. Interesting. So the race that I was thinking about doing, not this weekend, not like Friday, Saturday, but the weekend after that, Scotty Coomer was like, hey, we got spaces. I don't know if he has spaces, but he was just like, we got a space for you if you want to come and do a race. Because the Badger races are this weekend in Wisconsin. And I was like, I just don't know if my family will tolerate me being gone for another weekend. I've already been doing a lot of travel, and I got to do a lot of travel still this summer. And then I was like, I'm fit, but I'm not like hop into a 100K on a whim fit. I think I would be disrespecting the distance if I tried to do that. So maybe for 2023, I gotta really plan that out though, because I think if I'm like, yeah, if I could fit it in, then it definitely won't happen. So I gotta figure that out. All right, let's see what else we got. Brandon Palmer says, "Hey, co-fam, long time no see. Went on vacation and got COVID. Oh no, but in the dumps, not being able to run. Finally getting over it now. I have flash flooding. Oh boy, doesn't end. Well, hopefully. Well, I'm glad that you got through it okay. Sorry that you got it at vacation. Seems like a lot of people are getting it right now. So be careful out there, guys. But you'll be out there running again soon. Yeah, I saw a tweet from Coach Ben Rosario at Hoka, the NAZ Elite. He was saying that's why he didn't go up to Worlds, because he ended up getting COVID too. So he's like, it sucked having to watch from the couch, but it was he was like, I was glad I was able to watch it and stuff. So people are getting it. Yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't spread other people's health news, but I guess I tweeted about it, so that's a little bit different. They spread it around, I guess. Yeah, the only other thing that oh wait, Andrew, here we go. Andrew says, the heat does have actual benefits, he says. If I recall correctly, there are studies showing increased plasma volume, increased white blood cells, and increased oxygen intake and burning efficiency. Really? See, the only things I ever hear about heat is like, be careful, because then if you sweat too much and get dehydrated, it's going to, your heart rate is going to struggle because your blood volume is low. And I'm like, how much sweat does a person need to sweat to have low blood volume? I don't understand that, but I've never understood heat to be beneficial for anything except for getting you used to running in the heat. The increased plasma volume, maybe I can understand that. White blood cells, I don't understand. And the increased oxygen intake? I'll have to look into that. Jay Presa, what's going on, man? He says, new scenery, must be Iowa. Yeah, I'm here in Iowa. We're leaving tonight. So I'm going to take the kids to the pool today and then hopefully get them tired out. That never works. It just makes me tired. But we're going to hopefully get them tired out. And then once my wife's done with work day for today, we're going to hop in the car and head home for tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to have a live stream tomorrow while I'm thinking about it. Trying to schedule a play date for my daughter. So I don't know if I'm going to be away from the house and away from live stream ability. So we may not have a live stream tomorrow. And then Friday, there won't be a live stream because I'm going to be on 40's podcast, 40 runs over in the UK. He invited me to be on. I've known 40 for a long time. I think we go way back. And so I'm going to be on their podcast. He's like, it's going to be at 7 p.m. UK time. Does that work for you? And I'm like, sure. I'm like, I don't know what 7 p.m. UK time is, but I'm sure I can make it work. And it happens to be live stream time. So sorry about that, guys. So I'll post reminders for you guys when there won't be a live stream. Adam says, if I tried to run a 100K, the distance would be disrespecting you. Yeah. One horsepower said, I ran last night in a fresh pair of Peg Turbo 2s. Felt great. You still have fresh pairs of Peg Turbo 2s? You should be savoring those. I feel like those, I mean, how much can you savor them? You got to use them or lose them, right? But I feel like that's a shoe that I don't know why Nike let that one get away. I wish I did know like more of the story behind that. Yeah, Stevie76 says the 40 accent. It's I think I'm gonna have to concentrate on that one. I'm gonna have to like try to do some lip reading. I think it's a video podcast. So I mean it's hard. I'm sure they'll have I don't know if they'll have a hard time with me because I talk differently than they do. But I know sometimes I have a hard time with some of the different accents there. Mark says, I still have 4 pairs of fresh Peg 35 turbos. Wow, you really like that shoe. I mean, I suppose like there was a time that they were just all over all the Nike outlets, so you could have gone through and scooped a whole bunch. Man. And Matthew Montijo says, we need a Turbo 3. They should stop making the Zoom Fly. Yeah, I know that I'm not going to review the Zoom Fly 5. I did not review the Zoom Fly 4. I'm not interested in the Zoom Fly 5 at all. Are they updating the Tempo next percent? I probably wouldn't review it anyway. But, so yeah. I don't know. I feel like they need to pick which shoe are they going to make be the training companion to the Alpha Fly or the Vaporfly next percent. And then they need to actually make them like feel somewhat similar, make them real training companions. Just because like the Zoom Fly, I mean, I don't know. I guess I haven't tried the 4 or 5, but I felt like the 3 was closer, but it was just so heavy. It just it had its moments, but I was just like, this could be better, I guess. I don't know. Mark says the Zoom Fly is too heavy. Yeah. One horsepower says the Streak Fly is probably the closest. Yeah, but you can't do a long run in the Streak. I mean, I guess maybe some people can. I'm not efficient enough to do a long run in the Streak Fly. So that's the thing. Carrie wants to know if I'm going to review the Alpha Fly 2s. I mean, I think I probably should. I got the Adios Pro 3s right before I left for Eugene. I got them like the day I left, or the day before I left, the evening before I left. And so I'll probably take them out I will see how I feel tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be a workout day. Maybe Thursday will be a workout day. So I'll do that. And then people have been asking for Adios Pro 3 versus Alpha Fly 2. But I don't have a pair of Alpha Fly 2s, and I haven't talked to a single person that's like the Alpha Fly 2 is at least as good as the Alpha Fly 1. And so I feel like if I review an Alpha Fly and it's not great, people will be like, well, it's because you got beef with Nike. And I'll be like, you run in this shoe and tell me what you think. So that's what makes it hard. But also, I just think it will be an important shoe to review. So I probably will buy a pair. We'll see. Like Road Trail Run posted something on Instagram today saying that they don't like it. I've been talking a lot to Thomas and Megan over last week. I don't think that I'm not scooping them. I think that they've told me that they don't like it. They're looking around toward Alpha Fly 1s because they don't like the 2. They were watching a lot of the runners at the marathons over at Worlds to see which athletes were wearing Alpha Fly 1s or Alpha Fly 2s. And then I haven't seen a lot of like good stuff on the Alpha Fly too. So it just makes me feel not that excited to do it. So I don't know, but we'll get there. I guess we will. Yeah. Mark Medenblick says, ever do the Big 7 over in Davenport, Iowa? I have not. That is a race that I would really like to do. It's particularly because it's like you wouldn't think that a 7-mile race in Davenport, Iowa would draw in much of an elite field, but it usually does have a pretty good elite field. And so I think that'll make it an interesting race to just go be a part of. Not that I would be up by the elites by any means if I went to go watch it, but maybe I mean, and 7-mile race is too short for me to really cover the way that I cover a race. So like I really wouldn't be able to even see anyone. My best hope would be to like try and grab someone and interview afterwards. But yeah, that would be, I think that would be a fun one. You know, I gotta say the thing that is exciting about it is having watched all the track meets, the track heats and races that I watched at World Championships. I'm feeling motivated to try and run shorter, faster distances. I know, like, as a masters athlete, that can be dangerous. But I'm like, I don't know. 19 minutes for a 5K is my PR. I hit that in Eugene, in Magic Speed 2s. So, I mean, I know that there's still more room there. Put some race shoes on, actually have a race that I'm like training for. Like if I did some 5K specific training, like what could I do? I'd really love to be able to get that time down. I think that like, I don't know about right now because I've been doing a lot of relaxing, but like, I think it wouldn't be that hard for me to get into 1850 shape. I'd like to get to there. But I'm like, well, what else could I do if I like really wanted to try and get fast? I don't know how far I could go. So I'm like, maybe I'll do some 5K races. I wanted to do, did I mention this already? I wanted to do the Tracksmith. They've been doing like their Twilight 5,000 meters. And I'm super excited about that. I really want to do one. I think Ben Johnson just did one. Because there was one in Minneapolis, wasn't there? There was someone, I thought he just did one. I don't know where he was. I don't know if it was in Minneapolis or not. But I know I thought I saw him on a heat sheet. He posted it somewhere. I don't know how he did, but I was like, I want to do that one. The first one that was in Chicago, I was in Eugene. The second one that they're doing in Chicago, I'll be back here in Iowa for those family photos. So yeah, Andrew says, go to the second one. They'll get you under 19, no problem. PR was 1903 and the pacer pulled through in 1851. That's nice. See, I see. I think I need, see, I'd like to be at an 1850. But then I'm like, well, if I attacked my 5K, you know, and like really dedicated a bit of, I don't have to dedicate years, but some time to it. Like I focused on trying to run a faster marathon. Like where could I go? Could I get to the 17s, you know, like a 17:59? I don't know if that's possible. I'm 42, you know, so I don't know, but I can't do the second one either because I'll be back here for the photos. And if I miss that, you know, I'll be like, kicked out of the family, I think. Julian Moriarty says, do you have any tips to start running again after burnout? I really want to start again, but somehow mentally I have some difficulties following a beginner's schedule. I would say like, then don't follow a beginner's schedule. Like do things that are interesting to you, whether it's like you want to do just some group runs with some friends, then just keep calling up your buddies. Maybe sign up for a race that you've never done before. Maybe if you've never done, like if you don't do fast 5Ks, sign up for a fast 5K, do a training plan for it, something different. Get out of the rut and get out of the space that you were in before when you burned out. Because then I think that if you go like try to ease back into it and you're having a hard time, which is like kind of what the question implies, is that you'll naturally start comparing yourself to the previous level of effort and performance. And so like stay out of that like Venn diagram, you know, just get into a different side. So like if you were doing a lot of road marathons, either try a track 5K or try an ultra marathon. Just try a different kind of running that you can use to kind of like rekindle your enjoyment of it. Or maybe it's time to, you know, try, you know, cycling, try swimming. You know, you can try other sports too. And maybe you just need a longer break from running entirely. Or maybe you just need a bit of variety and adventure to get you out of the rut. Because like one of the things that I was thinking about basically over the last summer, several months, is that like part of it was I was building up to grandma's, and then after having like achieved a goal in grandma's, I was like, now I can kind of relax. I don't know what the fitness goals are anymore, because like I got marathons coming up in the fall, but even the first two that I'm running in the fall are not going to be like PR attempts. So like what's my goal here? What am I wanting to accomplish? And I found myself that I was still running high mileage because I was going on these trips and I was running all these routes that I'd never experienced before. And the goal was then to run so that I have enough fitness for when I'm out in a place where I can experience unique things. I won't be too tired to go and try to run mags, to go and try and run with Ryan Doozer in the morning and then Des in the afternoon. So like find different like fitness goals too. And so sometimes that just means a different kind of race. So that's what I would say. Hopefully that helps. Matthew Acornero says, I set a new PR at the San Francisco Twilight 5000. Oh, that's cool. Did you get paced by Mario Fraioli? I was just listening to that podcast I was telling you about, Common Ground. And he said he paced 2 different races. So he's like, I basically had a track 10K because he paced I think the 17-minute and then the 18-minute 5Ks. I mean, I know that guy's fast. And like for a guy, like someone that was like on the bubble for running pro, I guess a 17-minute 5K is not super strenuous, but he's not a pro runner now. But the fact that he could just bang that out, pretty impressive. Kit wants to know if I tried the Tempo Next. If you did, what'd you think about it? I never tried it. I thought it was super goofy, and I was just like, I don't understand it. And then I was like, I just don't know. And I never got around to it. And then I thought, like, if there's an update, maybe I'll try the update. And then I don't think they ever updated it. And so that's why I never got to that one. All right, let's do a couple more, and then I think I got to get going for today. All right, Tony Tepp says, Hoka was your first-time subscriber, finally able to catch the live stream. Well, welcome, Tony. Hopefully you're having a good day. If you have any running questions or anything that you had pressing that you wanted to know while you came to the live stream, feel free to put it in there. Otherwise, if you're just hanging out, welcome. Oh, okay. Mark Peterson says, Ben Johnson is doing the Twin Cities Twilight 5000 tomorrow. Okay, it's tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday? No, tomorrow's Wednesday. What day is it today? Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Okay, they're doing it on a Wednesday night. All right. Well, that's really cool. Well, good luck to him. Mark, are you running it too? Yeah, Adam says, a season of shorter, faster will make me faster and longer. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. There might be a kind of a benefit to like actually like following the parts of the marathon or like the running books that I have that are for 5K plans and I normally just gloss right over. But now I'm like, oh, figures. The moment I move away from a track, now I start wanting to do track work. Because the track over in the lakefront in Chicago was a 2.5 mile jog from my condo. So it's a perfect warm up, cool down distance. And now I don't know where any of the tracks are. I'm assuming there's a track at the high school. I don't know where the high school is. We live relatively close to where the kids will go to like elementary school. I think there's a junior high school as well. I don't know if the junior high school would have a track. My junior high school had a track. So maybe that would be a good option. So I'll have to think. I'll have to see if I can find one. Adam wants to know is, have I run in the Endorphin Speed or a different Pro 3s? I have not. Are those out yet? I don't know if anyone's sending me any. So I think I'm going to have to wait till those come out. I would prefer to get, I have no problem with pink shoes. And I think we've mentioned this on the live stream before. No problem with pink shoes. I love a good pink shoe. But I have seen the black ones. And there's like gold flecks in it. It looks really good. I want the black one. I don't know when that's coming out, but I might wait until that one comes out because I'd like to have the black one. So yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. All right, here's one. Here you go. I'll do two more. Ben Johnson said in the Believe in the Run podcast, he sub-3'd his first marathon. That sounds like something Ben Johnson would do. I mean, can you believe this guy? Like he didn't run in high school or college or anything like that, and just one day decided he would start running, and it turns out that he's exceptionally talented. And then he added to that his hard work and his like engineer's mindset to his training, and like all of a sudden he's like top 1% of runners. Incredible. Can you imagine if he had run his whole life? That's what I always wonder about him. Matthew Montijo says, why do you race in ASICs over Nike options? Your vids have me thinking about buying some new racers. I just don't like racing in Nike stuff, so it doesn't make me feel good. So I also really enjoy the ASICs stuff that's out there too. So it's not like I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll have to find something else because I don't like Nike. So like there's really great options out there. I think that it's no longer, we're not in like, it's not 2018 anymore. It's not 2017. So there's the really good options from many brands. I enjoy running with ASICs, the Metaspeed Sky and Sky Plus. Have my last 2 marathon PRs in those shoes. And they're actually both from this year. So really great options. And then, yeah, I'll test the Nike shoes that I think that are interesting, but just so I have knowledge of what's going on in the space. And I know that some of you guys like racing in Nike shoes, so I can be conversant in that with you guys. So I'll review them. But yeah, someone else was asking me that. I think someone was asking me that while I was at World Championships too. It's a question that's coming up a lot, but that's the answer to that. All right, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure if we're going to have a live stream tomorrow, guys. Maybe. But we will definitely have a live stream Thursday, as long as my play date schedule doesn't change, or my daughter's play date schedule doesn't change. So I'll at least see you guys on Thursday, and hopefully I'll have a video up maybe Thursday, but that Adios Pro video, but either be Thursday or Friday, one of the two. But we'll have that this week as well. All right, guys. So until next time I see you again, be safe out there, everybody.